I am 2 minutes late. I am sorry about that. Ooh, and there's a really nasty. Here, let me do this. Sorry. The joys of working on a glass mat. I get a little bit of a glare. Anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm Bets Golden. If you are joining me for the first time, I am so glad that you are here. I hope you enjoy this. Today's video might be a little bit longer than normal because I'm going to be making a card with the new Simon Hurley stamp sets. And these just came out, I believe, on the 5th of October. So they're brand new, hot off the press. Ranger sent me a set, asked if I'd play with them and post pictures on Instagram. I said, of course. So I'm going to be doing one of the cards today on my YouTube channel live with you. A couple different kinds of techniques that I think are kind of fun. Some of them you will be revisiting if you are a crafter and have been at this for a while. Some of them may be new to you. And I'm going to basically prep my cards get them ready for the Instagram post that I need to do, and we'll complete one today. So these new sets are, the first one is the Wild Wave background set, and this is a deep etched rubber mount stamp, which is really fantastic. I absolutely love it. It gives a beautiful impression, and the cool thing about these, and something that he does, is the centers come up, so you can use, well, they all come apart. You can use them individually or together, which is really, really nice. I appreciate that. It allows for more diversity in my creativity. Then the other set, which is super fun, is this Surf's Up set. And there is a girl on this, the two little body parts, of course, the cute little guy, the bear, and then we have, of course, the dude. What is so special about this set is if you have the Dudes 2 set, which is this one, the heads you can interchange the heads for the bodies. So I've already gone ahead and done some stamping with this, and I've made some of these, and I did this body with this little head here, and then of course that body, and then this body, and that body. So I got 4 different images from these 2 stamp sets. Isn't that awesome? So I am loving this and how you can interchange them. Let me go ahead and just show you everything I stamped so far. So I have the little guys here. Then I stamped the gal, and her hair fits absolutely perfect with her body. I love that. And he also has created some really, really fun accessories. So you do have a beach ball, which is this one. You also have some glasses. You have, and we're going to use some of the glasses tonight. You have the sunscreen, which is so cute. And then you have a little drink and a coconut. So really great. The sentiments are included. Aloha, I don't have that one stamped, but there's Ride the Wave, Seize the Day, spelled like seas. Isn't that clever? Waving hello. Let's see here. Hang loose, sup, and then also you got this. Then in addition to that, he also has surfboards that you can create. And so this is one of the surfboards with one of the second layering pieces. This is the other surfboard with the layering pieces. And I used Catherine Pooler inks on these. And this is done in limoncello. And I don't know if you can tell, but there is some flowers in that. So it's really pretty. Now I am holding off a couple of the pieces because I'm going to use those on the card. So we're just going to get right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to show you a couple creative ways that you can actually create a background with this wonderful background stamp set. I have taken the liberty and stamped this already as to not, waste time on watching that, but I wanted to show you just what I'm thinking I'm going to do with it. So the first thing that you can do is you can actually take this stamp set and color it in different colors, and you will end up with some really pretty different waves. And I cut mine apart, and this one I actually cut apart and I'm going to use on my stamp set in a minute on my card. And then you also can take and run your stamp set through with, like, stamp it with embossing ink and then emboss it with clear or white. I think I did this in white, and there are a couple different ways that you can do some really fun stuff to this wave. So I'm just going to go ahead real quick and just lay that down. The first thing that you can do is you can take some Distress Oxide and you can spray it on. You can also use Distress ink or Distress Oxide with your handle and your ink pad, but I'm just going to use the spray. So I'm just going to spray this on, and what that does is it just gives me a quick coverage, and my waves just pop through really, really quick. I can set that aside, and then that'll be ready to use. So that's the first way that you can deck out your waves, which is super easy, and by using that embossing powder, it really, really makes it resist and fast, and it looks really, really cute. So the next way that you can do is just use some color burst or any kind of shimmer powder or powder pigment. And what I like to do is just take, and I'm going to use ultra blue, and that's quite a bit actually, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of turquoise, and this is going to give a really kind of a pretty mixed media type look to this. And I'm just going to take and just spray my water, and that gives me a beautiful watercolor effect on that wave. And the more intense the color, the less I spray. The more I want it to be fluid, the more I spray. So up there, I really don't have much. So I can just go ahead, back through, and lay down, look at that, some of that beautiful powder. And now I have my waves that are starting to really come to life. So that's another way that you can use this set. I love how that is looking. All right, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. So what I did was for this particular card, and these cards, you guys, I am creating backgrounds for a reason. I'm not just doing that. Are going to be on my Instagram story later on after I put them together, but I thought I would create one with you right now. So those are going to be pieces to one. So excuse me, for this card, I am using the Ranger stamp. It's this paper. It's the specialty stamp paper. I really like how it blends colors and it stamps, but I want to create a background. So I'm going to take my mustard seed, some broken china, and some Stormy Sky Distress ink. And I'm going to do like a little bit of a sun off in the corner. And it's kind of dangerous with what I'm doing because I could end up with mud because I am mixing warm and cool colors together. However, I'm hoping that since it's yellow and blue, the worst that will happen is I'll get green. So I just want to have a little bit of that sun off over there. And then I'm going to throw on some broken china, and I'll use some Stormy Skies along the edges. Now I have cut my card base down to a 4 by 5.25, so it will fit on a card front, and my card front is an A2 size. Ooh, that squeaks. And the A2 size is 4.25 by 5.5. Ooh, you are so squeaky. That's okay. All right, and I don't mind if I get my fingers dirty. Some people don't enjoy getting their fingers dirty, but it doesn't really bother me. I'm messy. All right, so I'm just laying out this color, squeaking as I go, and then I'm gonna put some Stormy Skies too in with this broken china because I really wasn't quite sure how dark my broken china was gonna be. But I'm really liking that background. And I'm not going to blend it out too much with water. I'm just going to do a couple droplets there. So mustard seed is the sun, broken china, and Stormy Sky, which I'm applying now, is going to be my sky. Ooh, I like that. And if I was smart, I would have pulled out my cloud stencil and done some clouds as well. But that might be a lot with those waves. Maybe it's a clear sky that we're looking at. All right, so from here, I'm just going to take my spray bottle and lightly, slowly give it a couple drips because I don't want this to blend. I just want it to lift a little bit. Now, since this is Distress ink, it will move if I re-wet it and re-wet it and re-wet it. So I need to keep that in mind as I put my card together, because I don't want to keep re-wetting it. But I do like this distress look on the background. I think that that kind of adds some fun interest to the card. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. I really like how that turned out. And now we're going to get into coloring our stamped image. For this, I'm going to be using those Tribe Links by Spectrum Norte. And I was introduced to them at Creativation in 2019, so this last year. Always put your project that you're working on, what you're going to color on a piece of paper when you're using your alcohol ink. And the reason is because alcohol ink may seep through your paper, so you want to make sure that you have something there to catch it. And if it's on a glass mat, it has a tendency to want to come back up through that, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and just color this gal in with you guys. This is the Tribe Links tan. It's the tan blend, and it comes with 3 tips. You have a light, a medium, and a dark. So I have discovered that with alcohol ink, you do not actually really need a blending tool. Blending tools are just really a lie. All a blending marker is an eraser. It's a color pusher. So I don't find it beneficial. I like to use my lightest color as my blending agent. That's what I do. So after I get done layering out all 3 of my colors, I go back in with my lightest color, and then I will color over all of it again, and it will give a beautiful blend. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I go on with this. So she is wearing her cute little bathing suit. I just love that we have a girl in this line now. I think it would kind of be cute with some of her head would be cute on some of those do to bodies too. That's the other thing, is since you can interchange the this new stamp line's head with the do to, you can do the same with this guy. So if you want to put this dude's head, because this is the new head on any of the do to bodies, you totally can do that. All right, so let's go on down here. And I'm just coloring everything in with that light color first. I did go ahead and stamp out my images, and I used my Scan and Cut to trim them out with a 0.04 border. I always like to do that on images like this. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to take my mid-tone. It takes all the brain work out of it. And I'm just going to go over some areas and add in a little bit more coloring. And this is what's going to add in that shading. And I am not a colorist. In fact, my least favorite thing to do on a project is color, believe it or not. So I kind of cheat on this, you know. I don't have any rhyme or reason to this. But I thought that the tan would be a really nice one to use because, well, she's tan. She's in the sun. She's a little surfer girl. So I'm just going over some of these areas and getting her color. And then I'll go over even less areas with my dark tone in just a moment. So like I said, I don't have any rhyme or reason. I'm not a colorist by any means. So if I can do this and make it look semi-passable, you can do this and make this look semi-passable too. I promise. All right, now let me go over with my dark, which is this one. And for the dark, I tend to follow the illustrator's lines on the stamp. I kind of trace on the inside of those lines. And like her little cheeks, I do want those to be dark. The bridge of her nose, you know, she is a surfer, so she does have some sun, you know. And then we'll get this, and you know how your knees always get really dark in the sun, and your feet. That always cracks me up when I go out in the sun. My knees and my feet will be totally tan. All right, now I'm going to go over it with that light end again. And this is going to blend it all through. So what I like about these markers is they take all the thinking out of it, and they're cheaper than a Copic. This marker is $7.50, I think, and I got mine through close to my heart. I just, that's how I did it, because I could qualify. I got so many of them that I could qualify for the stamp of the month. So it just was a good value for me. But you can find them pretty much anywhere. I will upload at the end of this different places that you can find these products. For this stamp set by Simon Hurley, Ranger probably is your best bet. They have you can do 20% off with his code, and his code is Simon20. Simon20 is his code. So make sure you head over to Ranger and do that. And they do free shipping on $50 or more. So I would load up that cart, and you don't only have to just use the Simon20 on the new stuff. I believe it's for all of his product line. All right, so how cute is she? So cute. So now let's go ahead and do her hair, and I'm going to do her blonde yellow. So again, we're going to just start with this light tone on the citrus blend is what I'm using right now. I'm just going to color in her hair. They do make a lot of noise, these markers. I don't know, I just kind of figured when I was her age, I was blonde and I got totally bleached out by the summer, so I'm entertaining my inner child right now. All right, and then I'm going to go over with that mid-tone again. And then we're going to go over with the dark. And then we're going to go over with that light again. And then I'm going to go in with a white pen. And I am going to add a little bit of some white highlights on her hair. So this kind of blended it on through. Okay, so for her hair, I am going to add in some white highlights. And I'm just going to do, with my ballpoint pen, just a couple little strands here and there. All right, just enough. Not much, super subtle. All right, so for her little bathing suit, I think I want to put her in a little lavender bathing suit. So I'm going to go in with the light one again, the light end on this, and I don't know how much shading and things I'm going to do on this little suit. We'll see. But I thought she would be cute in purple. And yeah, I'll add a medium tone. We'll just play with this a little bit. My sun's going to be coming from over there, so I'll have that part lighter. And then I will add in a darker tone. And then I'll go back over with my light tone and just blend it all out. All right, she's looking pretty cute. And then I want to take, she has a little bit of her tongue showing, so I just want to take and touch on her tongue like that. Now, I did get a little bit of the purple out of the lines, and you guys, I'm shocked that I didn't get more purple outside of the lines. So I'm going to go in with my white pen, and I'm just going to go over that just to mask it, and that totally covers up any kind of out of the lines you may get. Now we are ready to assemble our card. So for this card, obviously I'm using this girl. And then I have this stamp set. This I actually cut apart. It's this bottom one. And this is super cute, like with sand. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put pop dots on the bottom here. Pop this up a little bit. And then put her on this cute little surfboard. And have the surfboard pop through. And I'm also going to put little glasses on her and use some glossy accents, and I have that cute little ball, and the sentiment that I'm using is the Surf's Up sentiment. So a lot going on in this card, but I think it's going to be really, really cute. The color that I want for my card base is going to be this blue. But before I do that, before I put it on my card base, this is a little bit too long for this. So I need to put this down first and then go ahead and trim those edges and put it up from there. And I want to show you guys at the end some different ways that you can, some different things you can do on these really cool surfboards. So let me set this up here. Actually, I need that. Set this up here. All right. So I'm going to take just my pop dots, and along the bottom, I'm actually going to put these on directly on my card front. And I'm just going to do it along the bottom because I want to rest this in. And I'm going to make that flush with the card. The reason I'm using pop dots is for two reasons. First of all, it adds some really nice dimension to the card. And secondly, it's going to allow me to tuck things under the waves and have it like come out. So it looks a little bit more realistic. All right, so from here, I just want to take and put this one right about there on the bottom. And again, I have to trim those edges, but I'm going to wait until I get this one on. And then from here, I'm going to put this one in here, like so. So I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue on this, and I'm kind of just going to put it along the bottom because I'm going to be sliding it. So it'll spread out just a tad. So I'm going to put that there. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my scissors, and I could either wrap it over around or I'm just going to trim it off. And then we will start to put together our card. And you're like, well, wait a minute, there's spots there that you can see the background through. Yes, there are, but we can camouflage that. I'm not worried about it at all. All right, so from here, let me go ahead and put this on my card front. So again, I did measure it down, so it's going to frame it really, really nicely. And I'm just using this art glitter glue. This is like my go-to lately because I really like the fact that I can move it around and it doesn't leave like those nasty glue lines. So, and it's not so bulky on screen like my tape runner is. That's why I've been using it a lot. And I just eyeball it, you know. That tends to work well for me. All right, so there's this. And now what I want to do is I'm going to put her on her surfboard. So I'm going to just get this situated so I kind of know where she's going to go. And it's okay if she pops out of the top. I like that. I like that, gives it a little bit more interest. And you could even put it like this, you know. So All right, so for the surfboard, I'm going to glue it down. And then for her, I might use pop dots on her. I'm not sure yet. But I'm just going to tuck this board in where some of that, you saw some of that background, and that's going to camouflage it. And then I'm going to put her on some pop dots. Give a little bit more interest to her as well. I love pop dots. It just adds something really special to cards, I think. And it doesn't take much. All right, so put this down here. All right, and then I also have this ball that I want to put. So I was thinking about putting that off over there. And then I'll put our glasses on, and last but not least, we'll put the sentiment on. So I'm thinking about, you know, right about there. And then I'm just going to put on her eyeballs a little bit of glue. And these cute little glasses that came with the set. They fit perfect on her face and on his. So I love that. How cool does she look? And then to give them a little bit of that look that they're really glasses, you want to take glossy accents, liquid glass, a couple different names for this, and you just want to add that gloss to it. And when it dries, it'll totally look like shiny glasses. It's so cool. Hey there. Hi, Simon. So we just want to add a little bit of this glossy accents to her little glasses. Thank you. She's fun. I love this. Okay, so there we go. So once this dries, it's going to dry clear and glossy, and it's just going to add just, you know, a little something else to the whole thing. And we're going to do surfs up right up here, and then this card will be done. So again, you guys, if you're interested in this new set, which I totally think that you should because it's awesome, and the heads interchange with the other stamp sets that are out, go on Ranger, use Simon20 for your 20% off, and you can get this set. And if you spend $50 or more, I believe it's free shipping. So hello, that's so awesome. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial tonight on how to make different kinds of waves. And my waves are still drying, it looks like, but I'll show you where they are at. So this one is the one we did at the Color Burst. And again, I'm going to have samples up on my Instagram account this week with all of these on here. And then this one is with the Distress Oxide sprays. And then if you want just to make a simple card, kind of like you just want to use like one of the stamps, you can do this. Just stamp it directly on your cardstock. This is Aquatina on a similar color cardstock, and then you can pop on any of the stamped images. Like I think that she would be adorable on a stamped image with like a coconut in her hand. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. So there's so much fun stuff, and you can do sentiment directly on here. So much fun stuff to do with this. With the little surfboard, you can actually take your stamp platform and use Distress Oxide, and you can actually color your surfboard in first. So this is a lot of fun. So what you want to do is, I just like to take, and let's just do the squeeze lemonade. So I just go down and just cover my entire piece of paper with this. Ooh, and then I see the citrus, the twisted citron, and I'm like, ah, wish I would use that, because that's like my favorite. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of water, and we'll pick that up. And I actually have some of that salted ocean on my rag, so that's going to be kind of fun. And then what you can do is just take your platform, and I'm going to just take some purple tape. I like it better than the magnet sometimes. And I'm just going to tape it down in the same location so that I can do this multiple stamping here with my surfboard. So I'm going to take my surfboard, and the beauty of this is if you don't get like that super crisp image the first time, it's no big deal. You can totally go back over it and keep stamping it. And I'm going to actually stamp this with, I think I want to do Salty Ocean on this. Give the surfboard this color. And if you heat set these oxides, then they do become permanent. So that is why I'm using this instead of my Distress inks. And I like how they layer. Okay, so isn't that just gorgeous? And then I'm going to actually do it again over here. But I'll do that in a minute. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to line it up. This is the center to the surfboard. Line it up like so. And I'm going to, I think I'm going to try the Twisted Citron. It's like my very favorite color. That and the Lemonade. I just love it. And this is how you can just get different colors on your surfboard and just give them a little bit more interest. And if this color didn't come through clear, which it did, I'm happy with that. You can always go over it a second time, which I'm going to do. So we'll do one more from here. I'll do one more. So let me take my board back. And there is ink on this, so I'm going to have to just set it, lift it. See, it already did an imprint, which is fine because I'm using the platform, right? And I'm using the clean, clear foam side of this platform. If you guys are not familiar with this, you've got to get it. It is amazing. You can use clear and rubber. And then from here, I'm going to use the one with the flowers, I think, and we'll do peacock feathers on this one. So I'm going to line that up like so, and then we're going to just, once I get it lined up to my liking, take it down, pull it up, then boom. So to color these in, I highly recommend Distress Oxides for this if you want to layer color and you don't want it to turn to mud. And boom, and that's a little bit off because I didn't get it perfect, but you get the idea. And really, I could trim that out and I would totally be okay with that. So that is how you can use the new set. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff, and like I said again, I would totally use the girl body with some of the boy dressings in the other one. I think that that's so much fun. I think she would look really cute with even, like, I think that the girl head would look super cute even with just this one. I think she'd be darling. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video. I will be on tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm doing live or not. My son made the playoffs with his football team, so I do have to do that, but if I might come on a little bit earlier than usual. I can't control, you know, the football stuff. I gotta be there. But I do hope that you enjoyed this. Again, make sure you check out the Ranger site. Use Simon20 for 20% off of any of your purchases over there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I certainly hope that you do so. Feel free to share this video. You can ask me any questions in the comments down below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. All right, you guys, happy hump day. Until next time, happy crafting.